for someone that's gonna hold a king down. I've been looking for someone that's gonna hold a king crown. I've been looking for somebody that would make me feel complete. I've been looking all my life, I wonder where could she be. I've been looking for someone that's gonna hold a king down. I've been looking for someone that's gonna hold a king crown. I've been looking for somebody that would make me feel complete. I've been looking all my life, I wonder where could she be. It's alright, baby, it's okay. I'm gonna love you anyway. When the sun turns blue, when the sky turns gray, my love is gonna be here.
Welcome to the kingdom. This is King to Queen Talk, where we provide the black, grown, and unfiltered perspective on life, love, and everything in between. I'm Tony G.
I'm Platinum Stripper.
Vapor Max TJ.
I'm Jazz.
As y'all can see, we have a special guest host. And of course, we welcome everyone to the kingdom. As you may see, Miss Lowe is not here with us. We wish her well in her endeavors. She has moved on to other things. But as always, we wish her love, peace, and happiness. So, with no further ado, let's get into all the drama that's been going on within this last 2 weeks. So before we get into all that, how are y'all doing? Korinne, how you doing with all that ponytail you got over there?
First of all, let me tell you, this is my stripper ponytail for the night. I'm going to be throwing that in a circle later. Y'all know how I do. I'm still getting head, and I'm still throwing it in a circle.
And we expect nothing less. Miss Jazz, how are you doing, ma'am? Tell us how you're doing.
Good. I am recovering from COVID, so I'm just chilling in the house.
Not the Rona.
The Rona.
The whole Rona. I've been in the house. I'm on day 11, and I can't wait to get out the house. So that's why I'm.
So you're well. You know, are you symptomatic? Any of those things?
No symptoms. Might have like a little scratchy throat here and there, but that's it. I'm ready to get back out here.
Well, look at God. Won't he do it? Yes, sir. To my brother TJ, how you feeling, sir?
Good, man. Been working on things in the house. You see, I got my new background going, walls painted. Been chilling. Everything
new
good.
Floors? Or
floors too. I wasn't gonna tell the world, but new floors.
Sorry. I didn't say what else was new, but you know.
New flooring too. Yeah.
Yeah, you doing it over there. I need some of that money. I'll be by later.
Money? I don't have none of that.
Well, I'm just trying to, of course, stay COVID free. And
stay away.
What you say?
I said stay away from me then.
Right. Social distancing. The love is still there, though. The love is still there. But of course, just living over here, just living. But it's so much going on. Before we jump into all of our shenanigans, of course, we want to say the killers for Breonna Taylor are still walking. So justice for Breonna Taylor, of course. And that's how we definitely want to start this episode. But we know that our last 2 episodes were pretty heavy. And shout out to Miss Monteria Robinson. If you didn't check out the last 2 episodes, Living While Black Part 1 and Part 2, make sure you go do that. Of course, we want you to like, comment, share, and subscribe because we want all of you to be a part of the kingdom. So by no further ado, let's jump into a few hot topics. Then we're going to jump into the question of the day. As of today, Mayor Keisha Lansbottom has officially took Atlanta back to phase 1 by shutting Atlanta down. So, say it again.
I said because people in Atlanta don't have no sense. They just out here doing everything.
But the gag is it's not enforceable. The governor has pretty much said it's not enforceable. Like you can say all you want, but we can do whatever we want. It's more of an point.
And that's what I was about to say.
You got Keisha who cares, and then you have the governor who doesn't give a about us. So he's like, die. And she's like, stay healthy. But yeah.
That's interesting. One's black and one's white. That's interesting.
Yeah. Well,
well, well, I mean, at this point, we have to use our common sense. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, we have to use our common sense because you can be as safe as you want and still get COVID. That's true. But you also want to use precautions.
I think are getting on Mayor Lance Bottoms on social media. They're like, oh, so now after you catch the COVID, you want to have something to say. But my thing is, yeah, shoot, she walking around with the COVID now. So yeah, that's okay. Why we got to beat her up like, oh, so now you want to say something? Like, what's up with our cancel culture? Like, yeah, she see how real it is out here, and that's okay for her to speak up about it. That's how I feel.
I think in the beginning she was waiting on him. Now she's like, okay, I'm not waiting on you. I'm taking care of my city. And so I think that's the perspective she took. But there is some irony in it because she did get it, like in the process. So that does add to it.
So because I got it now, I feel her 110%.
Yeah, the perspective changes.
It really naturally it does.
I think first of all, for the governor, I feel like he never really cared. All the states were shut down. We're still out here just doing whatever. I think East Point, Fulton County they had a curfew before all of the other counties did. So I think, everybody puts all of this pressure on Keisha. It's like, I think people think that Keisha is actually the governor. I don't think people are actually smart enough to know that Kemp is her boss. So she has to listen to him. She can't just do whatever she wants to do. You know what I mean? So it's like, you got all this pressure and, she's still trying to do what she thinks is right for her county and her city. But Kemp is the one that has the final say so.
All right, so we're going to move on to, we'll say, a burning hot topic. Today on Red Table Talk, we had Miss Jada Pinkett Smith come and, I would say, provide clarity to the statements and allegations of Mr. August Alsina. And just a recap, I would say about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, August came out with a song. The song mentioned the name Korinne. And right. And that is coincidentally or ironically Jada Pinkett's middle name. And there was a lot of insinuation in the video that he put out with that song. And so everyone started talking about it then. Then, of course, he ended up on the Red Table Talk and talking about how close he was with the Smith family a few months after that. So fast forward to about a couple weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, he came on a show with Angela Yee and basically said he was in a relationship with Jada. He got approval by Will Smith in order to be in the relationship. And basically, to me, he sounds like a little boy scorned by the heartache. And Jada admitted to it and said that, yes, we had a relationship. I stopped.
Entanglement.
Say it again.
Entanglement is what she said.
Entanglement. That was the word. Entanglement. So that's pretty much the history of what has transpired up until today. Like I said, Red Table Talk actually dropped on today, and we actually seen that episode. So what do you think about all this drama?
It's shocking that she actually came back out and just told her business. Even though she tried to put it lightly, Will was sitting right next to her pretty much mad as hell. You could tell he was super uncomfortable. And then his voice is kind of like, oh, you want to tell me. So you can tell he was in his feelings.
Mad uncomfortable.
It was super uncomfortable. But I had respect for her for just keeping it real. It just seems like in a relationship, no matter what, they keep it real with each other. And I guess us now too. So I respected it.
We have become a part of the relationship.
I think Will was definitely crying for like 30 minutes before they recorded that. And he wanted to cry like some more while they were recording. He probably did. They probably edited it out, but
He cried in the car.
no, he cried in there. He cried there, like, in front of her all through the show and everything. But I think it's respectable that they came out and talked about it, even though they were basically forced to talk about it. Because if it was up to them, they wouldn't have brought it up. But in the same sense, I guess it's good for her to clarify her position on it, because people was dragging her. I think August is a little. That's just the code, man. Like, that's just the man code. Like, you don't put nobody on Front Street no matter what. You know what I mean? You don't expose nobody no matter what you do.
So, okay, let me tell y'all. First of all, now let's all admit, August is, how old is he? He's young, right? I think
About 25.
Okay,
25.
25?
So
26.
In his mind, so if you're a guy, right? So in his mind, he's really like 15 or 16, right? And so I'm just saying, this is my opinion. Y'all ask, I'm telling y'all, okay? All right. So in his mind, he's still a teenager. So he's messing with this grown woman. You know what I mean? She's hurt him. She's traumatized him. You know what I mean? So of course he's going to speak his piece, because he doesn't have the mental capacity of someone that's 30 years old to say, let me not say this. You know what I mean? Let me keep this to myself. Now, I also do think that Will and Jada, they are swingers. They've been swingers. I think they have a open relationship, or what now they call themselves life partnership, not even a marriage. So I think that, they always have sex with other people. I think that they said that they were on the outs, or they weren't together to make it look, good, so that they wouldn't have to admit to people that they're swingers. But, that's just my opinion.
All we have is our opinions. We're not there, to see what's going on. But y'all put it in the atmosphere, so it's on us to talk about it. So,
but hold on. Oh, and let me say something. I did run across these little pictures with her in August, like in the bed with the children, all of this stuff. So you're telling me for 3 or 4 years, y'all on the red carpet together, for 3 or 4 years. Will knew exactly what was going on. I just think he doesn't want to be outed as a swinger and a gay ass man who takes dick of it.
No, he did. Whoa, let's talk about this. That's negative.
whoa.
No. Anyway, he definitely admitted that he knew about it. That's why he kept saying. That's why he said it was a relationship, and she kept saying it was an entanglement. She was trying to downplay it, and Will was like, "No, it was a relationship."
Jada said that they were separated, and so that was 4.5 years ago, and she formed this entanglement with August. And pretty much, Will said, "I didn't even think I was going to talk to you ever again in life." Now, Let me rewind back to other episodes on the Red Table Talk. Jada straight up said, "I don't care if you got some chick on the other side of the house and I got another dude on this side of the house. We ain't leaving this joker." Right. We ain't leaving this house. We ain't leaving this house. We gonna be in this. You can have somebody over there. I'll have somebody over here. But we in this for life. August should have kept his mouth shut. I feel like he got his feelings hurt being wrapped up in somebody else's wife. And she said, after she felt like, oh, let me go and rekindle, or, go back and look at this situation with my marriage, that's when August got silent and dipped off. And then the next time she hears from him is in an interview. And so I'm like, you needed to play your role. You needed to play your position. That's how I felt about it. I personally could not do that being Will, and my wife doing that. But if that's what she's choosing to do and that's what he agreed to, like obviously should have played his position. As far as Will, I feel like Korinne said, he was aware, and don't get it twisted. There's been times where they post Will Smith commenting under his side chick's post as well. And there's been times where he's been out of the country and the same girl posts out of the country pics, the same place that he's at. Yeah. So he's not the victim. However, right. I don't care what agreement I have with my wife, the moment it gets out,
the problem.
All bets are off.
The problem.
Right. It's a problem. It's a problem. And I think that's what it boiled down to. It was like, whatever agreement we got, that's what we got. But when you put me on Front Street and embarrass me, you know what I'm saying? And
you embarrass me?
Like I said,
in front of my friends?
Right. And in their case, in front of the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't. And then on top of that, I can't imagine my wife being laid up with some other dude in my house. I'm too unstable for that. Me personally. I'm too unstable.
I was just gonna say that August kind of reminded me of you.
Korinne.
A man scorned, ladies. He's a man scorned.
Let's be clear. Never, ever will you catch me slipping to that capacity. Ever.
No, not that capacity. Not that capacity.
Especially over somebody else's wife. Let's be clear about that. Let's be clear about that.
But I'm just talking about the emotional trauma that I saw in his eyes. It just reminded me of you. That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
okay.
Well, listen, we go through life. We go through life. But understand, what did Maya Angelou say? But yet I rise.
Still, she said still, but you got it.
Oh, okay. Still I rise. So let's get to these questions of the day. The first question of the day was dealing with Kanye. So this is what it says. Music mogul and former Trump supporter Kanye West has recently announced that he will be running for president in this year's upcoming presidential election. West says that he'll be the nominee for the birthday party, a party where everybody wins. Will Kanye get your vote, or is Kanye just a joke? So we have a few people that commented. Mr. Larry Cleveland said from his old Baptist voice, peace be still. Then we had somebody say, put a GIF and say, this is from Jay Scott. She says, no. And then my aunt commented, this is the Reverend Tammy Charles. She says, no, we do not need another clown president. He is trying to split the vote for Trump to win. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. And then she goes on to say, Kanye is Trump's boy for sure. Wears his MAGA hat with pride. He will do anything for him. Then lastly, we have Patrice Sneed. She says, I would vote for Trump before I vote for Kanye. I don't even listen to his music anymore. By the way, I'm not voting for Trump either. So seems like a few of our followers are not here for Mr. Kanye. So I'm going to just open the floor. What do y'all think about this?
Hell no, Kanye.
Oh.
Oh. New nickname alert.
New nickname alert. Tell us how you feel, Jazz.
I'm just sick of his antics. It's always something with him. And then his wife just sits there and is like, well, he just loves to express himself and I love it. I need to shut him up. Why is he even talking right now? I'm not big on cancel culture because I feel like people can be like forgiven for some things. Like, you know, sometimes you admit things and be like, you know what? I did do something wrong. But he needs to be canceled. Kanye is canceled. He needs to go sit somewhere for a little while, get a good therapist, somebody who's actually going to tell him about himself before he say anything else.
First of all, I do think that he is only running to take the vote away from Biden. Just my personal opinion, because how do you go from loving Trump, taking pictures with him, kissing him on the cheek, he's great, he's wonderful, yada, yada, yada. I think he just wants the black people to vote for him. So that way, you know, it's like Trump's definitely going to win at that point. But I do definitely agree with you. He's definitely a coon. That was a good name. But, you know, honestly, I don't really give a, you know, I don't give a. Because my life is still going to be the same regardless. None of these presidents are for us black people. So
I think he's just basically doing what he said he was going to do. It's a song way back, 2020, I'm going to run the whole election. I think he wants to, I do think he's doing it just as something to do because he said he was going to do it. I also feel like it is going to, a lot of people, or not a lot, I don't know about a lot, but some people are going to vote for him, and it's going to take away from other votes, and it's more than likely going to end up having Trump win again, which I think now in 2020, that's part of his agenda, is to have Trump win again. But I also feel like he's just doing what he been said he was going to do. I think that was back in 2015 or 16 when he said that 2020, I'm going to run the whole election.
Trump is a person that did the necessary paperwork in order to be a candidate for the election. Biden is a person who did the necessary paperwork in order to be a candidate. However, Kanye West did not do the necessary paperwork. I also want to point out that prior to this, prior to Kanye running, he had already said publicly that he had never voted before. So how would a person go from not voting ever in life to now you want somebody to vote for you to be the leader of the free world? Like, that makes no sense. I feel for Kanye, but at the end of the day, he's a whole adult, you know, and we can't depend on his wife to fix him. We can't depend on Jay-Z, T.I., all these people that have tried to talk to him, tried to get him on the right path. Kanye has to do that for himself. But we've already experienced the train wreck. We don't need ×2 to happen by allowing Kanye, who has no political experience, I didn't get that out, political experience. We've experienced that with Trump. No matter who you are, we don't need that. So that's how I feel about it. I think we can all agree he needs some help. So Kanye, you're in our prayers, sir. Stay away from the presidency, and we're all right. Our next question of the day is on deal breakers. So the question is, when entering into a relationship, what characteristics in a potential mate would you consider to be a deal breaker? So we had a few comments. T_to_the_y says insecurity, jealousy, and a woman that tries to be super controlling. Let's see, Miss Blessed in Abundance. She said, at my age, I consider deal breakers to be lack of ambition, no career, no transportation, a man not living on his own, a lot of children, lying, cheating, lack of self-worth, disrespect, a man that doesn't have a relationship with God, trapping, insecurities, negative energies, STIs, and pretty much anything that's going to create drama, negativity, or take away from a healthy relationship, just to name a few. Just my thoughts. I don't know what she categorizes as a few, I don't know what you categorize as a few, but
go ahead and read my comments. Read mine.
Those are pretty detailed. Okay. I don't want to read yours. Korinne, Miss Fake _mother _ says, a small penis and a dry tongue. All right, so when it comes to characteristics and a potential mate, what do you consider to be your deal breakers, TJ?
I'm gonna give you just 2 short ones. Chip nail polish. And always being late. That's my 2 that I can give you right now.
Hold up, I ain't hear you. What was the second one?
Always being late. You know how like it's a black stigma that we should always be late or blah blah blah. I hate that shit.
So the girl with the paragraph earlier, I agree mostly with everything she said. I thought I had caught the Holy Ghost really with some of the things she had said. But the and especially for me is a big turnoff. And I've also learned like through the years that someone who is not a nice person to others, even if they're super nice to you, is kind of showing you who they really are. So you need to take notice of that. And that's a big turn off as well.
You know, y'all saw how I feel. Y'all know, if you've been watching, you know I got a whole pre-qualification list. Y'all know it. Y'all know if you've been watching the episodes, you know your girl got a pre-qualification list. You know what I'm saying? Just to pre-qualify. So, you know what I mean? Amongst my pre-qualifications, if that tongue dry and that peen is tiny, that's a deal breaker for me. You know what I'm saying? Because your girl likes to throw that in a circle, and I'm going back to pat my hair, okay?
You're so much tonight. You're a lot.
It's
You're
the
a lot
blonde
tonight.
hair. I'm trying to tell you.
It's the blonde hair.
It's
the
Russian. It's Russian and it's from
it.
Russia.
It's Russian. Get it right and get it tight real quick for her, because she gonna let you know.
Blessed in abundance, she hit a lot of key points that I would have to agree on. And I would say we had another question of the day, which was about red flags. I think when you see these deal breakers, they're all considered red flags. I think most of us can say that we've looked past some red flags at one point or another in our lifetime. So, but deal breakers, I mean, the biggest one that I've seen, I'm just using her list, is not having a relationship with God. That's pretty big for me. If I'm going to be seriously dating you, that's important to me just because of where I am in life and where I'm trying to get to. And I feel like I cannot elevate in life without my relationship with God. So that's the key point for me. Self-confidence is the major thing for me. If you are depending on me to bring you what they call confidence, I'm the wrong one.
Right.
What I can do is I can enhance your confidence. I'm all for the enhancement, but don't have me out there starting from the foundation, trying to build your foundation. I ain't got that.
August.
Right. But the conversation I want to get into is red flags and deal breakers. So about a year ago, I seen on the internet something that is basically called choose your poison. All right. So what each cast member has done is selected 2 characters that are of the same sex, and we're going to give the opposite sex. So me and Korinne will have our 2 characters, and she'll be able to choose from my 2 characters that I have. TJ, and Jazz, they'll have their 2 characters. Jazz will choose from TJ's 2 characters and vice versa. All right. And so we're going to list 6 to 8 good qualities and 6 to 8 bad qualities of 2 different types of individuals. And the person or the other person is going to have to choose between those 2 characters. All right. I'm going to allow Jazz, we're going to break you in to our kingdom and allow you to go first and give TJ his 2 options, and he's going to choose from there.
All right, TJ. So we'll start with Lindsay. Lindsay, she's a server at a restaurant and a bottle girl at night. She's single. She's into fitness, so she has a nice shape. She's charming. She's a hustler. She's funny, outgoing. She loves her family. She's gorgeous. She's great with her finances. And she's ambitious and wants to go back to school. But she's guarded. She's insecure in relationships. She's selfish, all about her money. She has some daddy issues. Her dad was absent in her life. She's quick to anger, and she expects a man to take care of her financially. All right. So you got Lynn. Now, Sharonda is a nurse. She's divorced, but she's single with 3 kids. She's a good mother. She's strong. She's very smart. She's a good homemaker. She's a good cook, and she's very giving. But Sharonda has a hard time taking care of herself because she's always worried about taking care of others. She's not over the hurt of her divorce. She's lazy at work. She makes other people's problems her problems, and she's considered a lot of times too nice. She's codependent, and she battles with depression.
Lindsay. I wouldn't choose neither one of them, but Lindsay, between the 2 choices.
It's hard.
Between the 2 choices. Huh?
I said, well, I had to make it hard, and everybody has their stuff. I feel like this stuff comes out like 3-4 months after like the romance period.
Right. Yeah. Just based upon the depression and 3 kids, I take Lindsay. All right. So first dude makes $100,000 a year. He owns 2 cars, owns his own house, works out regularly, loving and caring, and also compassionate. Cons are he's a procrastinator, has a lot of debt, hot-tempered, doesn't like sex, always late, no street smarts. Second, makes $60K a year, has an apartment, leases his car, but he has no debt besides the car. He loves sex and giving head. He's book and street smart. The cons, he's rude at all the food places that y'all go to. He cusses every other word. He doesn't want to be touched unless this has to do with sex. Quote unquote, never has money when y'all are trying to pay for stuff. Doesn't like to travel. And he has 4 kids.
You didn't give us nothing to work with. Okay. I'm choosing Tyler.
Choose your poison.
Because I do believe in financial freedom. So when you said Tyler at first, and you was talking about how he had debt, I'm willing to work with a dude with debt if he's willing to work with me, because I'm almost debt free and I want my husband to be debt free as well. But he has to be a willing participant. And it seems like Tyler, the first one, I'll work with him before I would work with Dominic.
All right, give me my options. Let's go.
Hold on, let me pat this brushing real quick. Okay.
Choose my poison. Let's go.
You know this gonna be good, right? So, okay, we have Callie, right? She's a business owner of a trucking company. She makes $300,000 a year. Her credit score is 825. She's got one child. You know what I'm saying? She got that tight little cat. You know what I'm saying? She's spiritual. She's beautiful. She eats well. She exercises. She's a pleaser. She's emotionally available, right? And she's gonna make you feel like a king at all times. Now, let's also go with she can't cook, but she does eat healthy, so she eats out a lot, right? She nags, she curses a lot. She's a little fishy, you know what I'm saying? Down there.
Whoa. She's what?
A little fishy, you know, and she got a little smell to her.
It's hereditary.
Just a little bit, just a little, right? Her breath is a little tart. Her feet are ashy, right? And she doesn't shave under her underarms. Hold on.
Well, let me stop you there. It don't matter what this other person got. I'm with the other person probably because I'm a germaphobe and everything you said automatically cancels me out. So
personal.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Okay.
Go ahead.
So number 2 is Kennedy, right? Kennedy makes $100,000 a year. She's a stripper. She has no kids. She's health conscious. She has a big booty, right? Now, her cons are she's telling you she's gonna cheat on you with men and women, right? Her credit score is a 250.
250?
Yeah. She's not loving. She's emotionally unavailable. Her side teeth are missing, right?
And when she smiles, it's blank right here.
Yeah, that one. Exactly. That one gone. She can't cook, but she's good. She's good at using Uber Eats. You know what I'm saying? And she's not really gonna give you no affection.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was the second person's name?
Her name was Kennedy.
Okay, Kennedy has my vote because the first one, it ain't gonna work. No matter what, it ain't gonna work. First one ain't gonna work.
Was the shaved, non-shaved underarms?
Yeah, like cleanliness is next to godliness. Like I don't know.
But just because she doesn't shave her arms doesn't mean her arms don't. You know, she could be wearing really good deodorant.
Man, hair belongs in one place on the woman. That's on the top of her head.
Amen.
Come on.
Preach.
Now we have Corbin. He's 32 years old. He's an amateur boxer. He makes about $70K a year because he doesn't consistently fight. He cooks your favorite meals. He cleans up for fun and is a neat freak. He has no kids, owns his own house. He started a charity for inner city youth. He's monogamous, wants to be married, and is emotionally available. Those are his pros. Let's get to his toxic traits. He has his ex's name tatted on his chest. He forgets anniversaries and important dates. He's a big flirt on social media and likes to comment on half-naked girls' pictures that he does know. He's an angry drunk. He yells and has temper tantrums. He's packing, but he doesn't like to eat the box. He's musty. He's a Jehovah's Witness. and he doesn't celebrate Christmas, and he loves cheap dates. He just likes to go to the drive-in movie theater, maybe hit up the 2-for-1 special at Applebee's, maybe, but that's pushing it.
Oh, not Applebee's. Is that still open?
It is open. All right, so that's the first option. Second option, we have Terrence, age 38, and he's a successful attorney. He averages about $500K a year. All right. He owns multiple properties. He loves to travel. His love language is gifts. He's a God-fearing man, pays for everything. He's well-dressed and groomed and says all the right things that you want to hear. Now, his other traits. He has 3 kids, all under 10 years old, with 2 baby mamas and a lot of drama. He's a mama's boy. His mom is always in your business. He always asks you for news throughout the day. He requires his girlfriend to hand over all her passwords to her social media accounts. He doesn't believe in marriage, doesn't want you to go out with your friends, and he's the worst sex you ever had. Oh, and his BFF is a woman who most people find attractive. Choose your poison.
I mean, I just feel like you didn't even try to even.
What? Terrence, wait.
But
Terrence.
And I'm gonna say this though, the second one, I'm gonna go ahead and go with the second one because I love children, so that doesn't run me off. Everybody's mama loves me. Who don't want a daughter-in-law with Russian hair? You know what I'm saying? We're talking about you. None of those really scare me. The only thing is, the whole password thing that makes me feel like you have trust issues. So we would definitely have to work on that.
What about the worst sex ever?
Yeah, the worst sex you ever had.
But the other stuff from the other one, candidate number 1 was way worse. I'm gonna have to go with number 2. I'm cheating on him.
I was just about to say you gonna be cheating on him.
I'm cheating on him. I'm gonna go with him though, but I'm cheating. I'm definitely cheating.
Let the world know that you're a cheater.
No, I'm
You're
not cheating.
cheating.
Those are the options. That's the only thing I had to
No
work
matter
with.
how much money he making more than $55 a year. He making more than $55 a year, and you still cheat.
Because I'm gonna tell y'all, and this is real. This is real shit, guys. People try to act like sex is not a big thing in relationships. If the sex is whack and the connection is whack, people gonna cheat. They gonna cheat.
So if you know they're gonna cheat, why would you go with them?
Hold on. But I didn't know that at first.
So right? 2 options.
You only gave me 2 options. If you would, you know what I'm saying? And maybe his tongue is wet and it's fat, so we might could, that probably could deter me from cheating if, he got a wet tongue. But if the tongue is bad and the sex is bad, I'm cheating. But I'm gonna be perfect. I'm gonna be so nice, but I'm gonna cheat. I ain't gonna lie.
He ain't even gonna know you cheating now.
He ain't even gonna know.
As you can see, we all have our deal breakers. We all have those red flags that we see. So my last question to y'all, and this is just for the group. What about those red flags made you overlook those red flags? Like, what about that person made you overlook those red flags when you knew those were characteristics that you knew were deal breakers in any other situation, but it made you overlook those red flags? I think we all can attest to that. So, Jazz, tell me what you think about that. Like, what made you overlook those red flags?
Okay, so even though, y'all gave me the, little noise and everything, Tyler, I still want like a good guy. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like overshadows everything for me. I want a good, like, just deep, good person. And I feel like I could figure a lot out after that. Like,
Well,
I'm just really.
I'm saying in your past relationships, in personal, what made you, when you saw the red flags, what made you say, I'm going to look past those red flags and still
My,
take a chance with that person?
my past relationship, we just recently broke up. I knew he was a good person and he had a good heart. There was a lot of things he was going through, and I was trying to ride with him, ride for him while he was going through it. But I knew ultimately, because he was a good person, that it was worth it. It might have not been worth it, but at the time, because I knew he was a decent person and that he meant well, his integrity meant a lot to me.
That's what's up. TJ, how about you? What made you in your past relationship or situationships made you overlook those red flags?
Number one for me would probably be not having kids. That may overlook a lot of things. Not a lot of things, but like some red flags. Because I just feel like once a woman has kids, kid or multiple kids, they kind of get stuck in their ways. So it's like
So kids make you do that?
like not having kids, because I just feel like women who have kids, kid or kids, they're stuck in the way that they're gonna be for the rest of their life.
Never heard that perspective. What do you think makes them like that?
Because kids change you. Like kids, they change you. No matter how much you try to say or you're the same or you think the same or you want to be the same, like kids change you. So 1 kid, 2 kids, 17 kids, the kids change you. Like they change who you are as a person.
Is that for better or worse, or is that always for better?
It's both. It's both, depending on how that person is, depending on how that person's relationship with their kids are, depending on, and I think, I'm not saying that like just for women. I think that's the same for men as well. Like everybody, like when you have kids, it changes you, whether that's for good or for worse. That's to be determined out there. But I definitely think having a kid changes you.
Got you. All right, Korinne. What made you look past those red flags?
I'm gonna say, let me see. What, I can't even think. Like, what was my? It's a really good question. I think that if you're kind of having maybe a little, I'm gonna say a little insecurity, because maybe from your previous relationship, you had some type of issues. When I say a little bit of insecurity, I can overlook that. If you're respectful, everything else is right. A little insecurity, but I'm not gonna build your self-esteem, because that's your esteem of yourself. So I'm not here for that. But I think, if it's something minor, if it's something that you feel like, it's something that you can work with, or something that you can overlook, that's not, disrespecting you or putting you in any type of harm's way, I think those things can be overlooked.
Gotcha. So I'll say my main thing for me was potential. When you see the potential in someone and you really see them for not who they are, but who they can be. I think a lot of people, such as myself, get lost in that. You know what I'm saying? We get lost in what we see that they can be. And here's the thing. There are plenty of relationships where people have found someone on level 2 and they elevated to level 200 and they seen where they could be and not where they were. But
right.
that's a gamble. That's a tough gamble.
You can't bank on potential. Somebody told me that potential means ain't nothing happening right now. I swear.
That's real. That I agree 100% with that, and we're gonna leave it right there. So let's go to this fishbowl right here. We got numbers 1 through 12. Once again, there's some poison in here, so y'all gonna pick your poison. And would you participate in a polygamous relationship? Why or why not?
First of all, this is such an easy question for hell to the no, because
do that hand thing again.
Right.
Hell to the no.
Why? Tell us why.
I'm not sharing my man with nobody, for one. If I ever tried to, I would be in the news for killing all of them.
What's more important, romance or sex?
My God. That's a great question for me, guys.
Yeah, because you had a whole romantic experience, journey of love situation last time we spoke.
And it's still
grapes being
on.
fed to you.
Shout out to Quarantine Bay. I love you still because you are the greatest.
But answer the question, romance or sex?
First of all, you cannot have one without the other. Because when I'm making love to Quarantine Bay, woo, we making love and we having sex. We doing it all. You know what I'm saying? We switching that thing up.
If you were an adult film star, what would your name be?
No clue.
Give us something. Off the top of the head, what you got?
Off the top, DJ to Amazon.
DJ to Amazon. All right, we'll take it.
Nigga,
oh, TJ, duh, my bad. How did you get over your last heartbreak? I got over my last heartbreak by finding my passion. That is how I got over my last heartbreak. Find your passion, put your passion to work, and make it work for you. That's how you get over your heartbreak. So on that note, we appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Everybody say it with me. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. We need y'all to follow us on IG, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook. You can find it all at King to Queen Talk. We want to thank Miss Jazz for joining us on today. You are always welcome into the kingdom. You are welcome. Everyone's welcome into the kingdom. As you can see, we had a good time. We want to make it lighthearted, and we hope that y'all enjoyed it as well. As always, keep the faith. Make sure justice for Breonna Taylor. That is the most important thing we want to leave y'all with. And we are out.
All right, then, Kelly.